You know, a year ago, I guess it's about 13 months ago now, I went on the carnivore diet. And when I went on the carnivore diet, I was suffering from severe arthritis. I was using crutches and in a wheelchair every now and then. My arthritis was so severe in my knees. And along with that, I was suffering from a form of dementia. I was not able to drive my car. I was in a severe depression, had a huge anxiety for many years. And it wasn't until I started on the carnivore diet and I really cleaned up my diet and I was just eating a lot of fat and fish and pork and beef and eggs and just basically all of that kind of stuff. And I never had anything else in my diet. I think the only thing I kept in was a coffee. And I just went with that completely straight right from the get-go. It was daily. It was daily. My body was changing. My mood was changing. My depression, the anxiety that plagued me for years was one of the first things that melted off. All of a sudden, I had a clear brain and I was able to drive again. Within 3 weeks, I went from crutches to be able to walk around the block. And that was a huge accomplishment. I went from in that condition to riding my bike for an hour a day and walking all over the place. And I spent the whole summer last summer with my granddaughter, just going from one festival to one garage sale, one whatever. We just had the best time. It was like I was 40 again. I'm turning 65 this year, and I thought that was the end of my life. I thought all of that fun was done, and the only time I'm ever going to get it is if I had a wheelchair. And so I went on this diet, and I started having all of these things happening to me, and I started feeling better. And I found that every time that I had something that was a vegetable, and you gotta people don't know this, but I am very organic and I have my own garden and I have grown it for years and years and years. And I rarely ever ate packaged food. So it wasn't part of my diet. I didn't eat cereals or a lot of stuff. I made everything. Even I did eat bread at that time, but I made my own bread. I didn't eat all the stuff, nothing that you guys are eating. And yet I was still so ill. And I was suffering from all of these things. And I was so organic compared to most people. So anyways, and I still grow my garden and I still do all of that, but it's not for me anymore because when I tried to add back food, like vegetables in it, and I found out why this happens, I start to swell right away. And I have this one problem where I have trigeminal nerve that comes along here. And if I eat anything wrong, I am in extreme, they call it the suicide pain. It's such intense pain. So this is what ends up happening to me. I end up, the arthritis comes back, the depression, the anxiety comes back from eating vegetables, guys. And I found out, well, what's going on with the vegetables? Well, it's the oxalates in them. An animal has teeth and claws to protect itself, but a plant has to protect itself in different ways. So it uses different poisons in it. So that's why you can't eat certain foods. It will kill you. But really, all plants are like that. Just to some lesser degree. And that's why they genetically modify plants, because they are trying to make them edible is what they're trying to do. But really, and when it comes right down to it, these were never meant for us to eat, or at least the way it shows on my body. But these oxalates are like little crystals that go through your system, and they do the leaky gut syndrome. This is what I'm finding out. And that's where you get the inflammation, and it goes into the joints and the veins and everything, and it causes the inflammation all over the place. So when you take the oxalates that are in all of vegetables out, the inflammation goes down. And since we were basically, our bodies, the easiest thing for us to digest is animal protein and fats. These settles your stomach down, and you start to, I lost a fair bit. One thing is, everybody's saying, oh, I lost weight if I went on this program or I took this pill. It just melts off of you. It just melts off of you. And as it's melting off of you, your energy level peaks up. So all of a sudden I go from not being able to drive, with no memory, having a form of dementia, having severe arthritis, and thinking it was my last year. I went from having the most enjoyable year in 10 years. I am still going straight. I am still a carnivore. I've added a few things. I mostly still have just my coffee, because even today, a year later, 13 months later, I still find if I have anything, or just even have it maybe twice, all of the symptoms start coming back, and they start coming back quickly. So I recommend for people to look into it, not to go on it, because I'm not a doctor and not a health expert or anything. All I am is sharing my own experience. So this is just for information. I'm not teaching you guys anything, but this is what I found. I originally started listening to Dr. Barry, and if you look on YouTube, you can find him. It's just Dr. Barry, and if you look Carnivore Diet, you will find him. And he has a video on every different disorder and how the carnivore diet actually fixes it. And what's so incredible about the carnivore diet, it didn't take months. Like, I've been on all of the different nutritional supplements that you can think of, trying to get some form of health. And you take them for months and months and months, and you hope that they work, but nothing happens. The carnivore diet works so quickly that it shocks you. I was in shock every moment that I was on this diet. So anyways, I'm turning 65 this year, and I feel like I'm going to live until I'm 120, if not forever. I have such a different outlook on life today. And I know, everybody will want to shame you, saying that, oh, well, you're just not spiritual enough because you're killing animals and you're eating animals. Well, I have tried everything, and this seems to be the case. There's so many elderly people like me now that have went to this form of eating and have regained their health. There are so many obese women, especially women, who cannot have children, that have reversed their obesity and have gotten pregnant. There's so much of this, like the arthritis, MS, people that have suffered from multiple different autoimmune diseases have erased them within weeks of going on the carnivore diet. So, Dr. Barry, YouTube, Carnivore Diet. Talk to you later.